Are you?
We're on Optimystic? That's what you said you're logged in on, right?
Waves into distance.
I'm on Optimystic.
So here, so you can see this.
Awesome.
Pinned comment.
Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Hello, welcome. We're just getting everything set up. Just 1 second. Thank you for joining.
Calibrating.
Hey, guys. Hey. Awesome.
Did it not paste?
Mm-hmm.
I already did it not paste. Is that what happened?
Hey. Heart Eyes back to you. Hearts back to you. Welcome. We're just booting a couple things up. Yes. Rose gold vibes tonight for the full pink supermoon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I think we are set, right?
Yes.
And I think you just click that. You just click it. Awesome. Okay. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining. Super excited to see all of you.
Click it twice.
Okay. Cool. Hey. How's it going, everyone? I just wanted to start this with just saying, wow. We're in a weird time in life right now, and I have so much compassion for all of you, for all of us, and just going through what most of us have never experienced in our lifetime, a pandemic where we have to stay inside, and it's
And if you have experienced it in your lifetime and you're watching this, congratulations.
It's going.
You're gonna make it through the second one.
Awesome. It's going well for Morton over there. Good. It's going well for me too. I'm, doing what I can to make this time a sacred pause where I really can just reflect and see what's next, and just use this time to learn and just really pause. Sometimes I have a hard time pausing because in this day and age it's go, 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 right? But this is really just a time where I am coming and feeling more lifted. Yeah. Actually, I'm feeling more grounded than ever, because it's just it's kind of like a forced grounding, but I'm moving into it, and just being really compassionate with myself and with others. You're feeling a little more, but you miss your bestie, and that won't change. I know. It's like I miss my parents. I haven't seen my parents in a month. I haven't hugged my mom or my dad in a month. And I know it's actually for their benefit. Like, I would hate to be a carrier and then spread anything. So I'm just, again, like, being patient and letting people know how much I care for them and how much I miss them. And yes, praying for all the people who have been affected by Corona and have contracted it, and the people who have passed away, and also just everyone who is now, being forced into this quarantine. But also it's not being forced. It's I know it's arising for all of us. And for our benefit. So I just wanted to start off this video by saying how much compassion I have for everyone out there, and that I'm so proud of all of you, because we're doing it. We're going through crazy times, and we're doing it together. Sometimes it's all we can do when we see or talk to them in person. When we can't see or talk to them in person, exactly, yeah, you gotta just reach out. I've actually been having, like, a lot of like family dinners where I'm like FaceTiming all my family members at once. There's this really cool app called House Party, and you can video chat with up to 8 people. So it's been very chaotic. I have a very loud, crazy family, but it's been good. Your best friend will never be with you physically, but is always in your heart. Well, I'm sending so much love to you. And thank you. This is super, super comfy outfit, so I appreciate that. So, hey guys, hello. So tonight is a full pink supermoon, which, that's why I'm wearing the pink, and I wanted to talk about some of the themes surrounding this full pink supermoon. And
I like the lighting too.
yeah, we also
really
have like the pink lighting.
Yeah.
We really like. I
That's
didn't even
what's
do
up.
that on purpose. So the themes for this full moon tonight, they really focus on relationships, particularly emotional releases, balancing in all areas, truths being revealed, karmic balances in particular, heightened intuition, and personal growth potential, which I
And
thought...
this is definitely a unique time for
Yes.
relationships too.
Exactly. I mean,
How many partners are any of you guys out there actually separated from your partner right now through quarantine, or with your partner through quarantine? Both can be challenging in different ways, especially if you're not used to such an extreme separation from your partner, or such an
sending bliss
extreme
back.
confinement with your partner.
Totally. I mean, we live together, and I mean, not much about our relationship has changed. We kind of spend all of our time together anyways.
Yeah.
But I know, there's people who are, you're with your partner. Awesome. Well, that's a
I
blessing.
see you too,
I know.
earthly souls.
Yes, hello. I know so many people are separated from their partner right now, and like they're experiencing long distance,
That's hard.
even if they might be like right down the street. So your partner's stuck in another country.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's tricky. A lot of people have family and partners stuck in other
and there's
countries.
people who have been
Yeah.
traveling and they're kind of like stuck where they are because it's just like...
Hey, Robin. Guys,
Hello.
really quickly, Robin Tala, check out his page. He's an amazing poet who's going to be on the upcoming episode of Optimystic. Just quick
Yes.
shout out.
Sending you
Anyway.
love, Robin. Usually away, so it's a lot of expression. Love it. Awesome. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to I want to talk about the full pink supermoon tonight and some of those themes, and just encourage you guys with some with like setting intentions. And also then I want to dive into expressing authentically in relationships. We're going to ask each other some questions, and then I really encourage you guys, ask us questions about expressing authentically, hey guys, in relationships, and just like anything that comes to mind, whether it's like I don't know how to express this, how would you go about it, or whatever.
What we're doing right
arises.
now is a really fun way to get closer with your partner through this. So if your partner's
Yeah.
stuck in another country, or you're stuck in a room with them all day,
Yeah, you
this
can
can
ask
be something
them.
that you do that just breaks down some of those walls into intimacy.
Totally. Yeah, you can ask them some of the questions that we're going to be asking each other in a little bit. But for this full moon, I really encourage you guys to think about what you want to amplify or illuminate within yourself in your life right now. And just really meditate on that. There's some different rituals or things that you can do to really focus on what you're calling in. So you can shape your intention by writing it down, affirming it with words, whether you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're expressing exactly what your intention is. You can meditate on it. You can just sit with it and just really envision in your mind's eye what it is you want to amplify or illuminate. And you can also vision board, which I love to do, just like whether it's on, hey guys, whether it's on like, Google Documents or Pinterest or Instagram, just like vision boarding exactly what it is you're calling in. And then just also another thing I really love to do on full moons is write down anything that's holding you back from this intention and then releasing it to the fire. And so you can create like you can just like burn it right there, but be safe. And just like the process of releasing something to the fire is such a powerful tool. So, hey, Rachel. Good to see you. So, yeah, those are some things that you can do at home to really, like, focus in on the full moon and amplify and illuminate your intention and what you're calling in for this next moon cycle. And so I really wanted to pull a card for the collective. This is my tarot deck. It's a beautiful deck that Brad got for me. It's really cool. And I really just want to, like, meditate for a second on the collective energy of everyone that's on here right now, and really just sit into what I'm feeling as a channel for everyone and see what comes up for us. And so I'm going to pull a card for this next moon cycle, and really what I'm focusing on with my intention for this is patience during this time where it's all just so up in the air and we're all just kind of, we don't know what's happening. So
it would be awesome if you guys sent out to some of the things that you're intending for the next moon cycle.
Yeah.
Maybe we could all take a minute to drop in, meditate, send in, and we can read off some of those things and then just see what comes up.
Totally. So, yeah, let's all just take a moment, and then I would love if you guys could just send, whether it's just a word or anything that you really want to put out there for this next moon cycle and focus on and amplify and illuminate into your life and also for the collective. The rain just got crazy as soon as I started my intention right now. We are so powerful. Like, when we set our mind and our heart on something and we really focus on it with intention, it's so amazing what can happen. So yeah, I'm just gonna be shuffling the cards.
Those are dope.
Yeah. I'm just going to be shuffling the cards, and if you guys just write a word, anything that you really want to call in, amplify, illuminate in yourself and in your life, and let's see what the cards tell us about this next moon cycle and what we can focus on. I know for me, I'm focusing on patience and really just seeing this time as an opportunity. Hey guys. Okay, well, anything that you want to add?
I think right now my intention is self-love, because I've always seen self-love as such a valuable asset and thing that you can harness, but recently it's become so clear that creativity we flipped the screen for a second. Creativity, really anything that you're going to be doing in the world is going to be a reflection of your level of self-love, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a creative project, whatever it might be.
Totally.
So that's mine.
We have trust and clearance. Yes.
Nice.
Totally. Okay.
Health too.
Interesting.
Nice. So it looks like here, I believe that this is the... Can we check? Is that the Knight of Swords? He's not on a horse, though. We have like a cool Art Nouveau deck, which looks beautiful, except that sometimes we're like, what card is this? It's like Rider-Waite, but it's very stylized. So
Is it the one of...
no, it's a Squire. I think it's the Page of Swords. It's the Page of Swords.
Page of Swords, okay.
So the Page of Swords has come up for the collective in the next moon cycle.
Yes.
Let's see what that's about.
So Page of Swords, it's an impetuous young person who needs a firm hand to avoid reckless behavior. He needs to learn to think things through before taking action, open to new ideas, and receptive to instruction, though emotional entanglements may feel like a distraction from his ambitions. Interesting.
And I'll actually pull up, so one of my favorite tools ever for tarot reading is Biddy Tarot. Shout out Biddy for anyone who knows. It's a website. I think it's run by one woman that is just amazing for the Rider-Waite deck. And let's look up Page of Swords.
Yeah, I love that it says you need to learn to think things through before taking action. And I feel like that's really reflective of where we are right now. Before we take action, and hey, hard eyes to you, and go back out into the world, it's like, let's really think things through. Like, let's go back out there and be better than we were before. So I feel like that's resonant with where we're at as a collective.
New ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, and new ways of communicating. Which I see that,
So
and like,
on
what is
point.
an example of new ways of communicating? This stemmed from us wanting to be able to be there with our community through this thing, even if we're cut off physically.
Yeah, like
Of
that.
course.
Us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate you and appreciate you being here.
Thank you guys for being here.
Totally, like this. The barrier, the physical barrier and distance isn't going to stop us from coming together and communing.
Yeah.
And like, I just see this as an opportunity to be innovative. Like, I think I would never put myself out there like this unless, I was put into a position where now it's like, okay, I feel ready.
Can I just share really quick that like the hour coming up to this, she was in our room pacing, nervous, worried about coming out. And the nice thing is that once you come out, you sort of realize that, we're all just people. We're just connecting. It's no different,
And me sharing is it's resonating, So it's like whenever someone shares it, it resonates.
It looks like we have one question.
Yeah.
Which
relationships
is
can suck. How can you better a relationship with someone? There's so many different ways that you can better a relationship with someone. I personally think a really great tool is to focus on all the things that you love about the person, and just sometimes, we can get into funks where it's like, I'm only seeing all the things you're doing that are just totally annoying me. But I think just focusing in on all the things you love about the person. What if two people don't connect? Do you leave?
Well, what first came to mind when you asked the original question was honesty is what really betters a relationship. Because if you're authentic with yourself and you're authentic with the other person, then you're actually building a bridge for real communication to happen. If you're being inauthentic with yourself, maybe you're putting yourself in positions that make you uncomfortable for them, or you're being inauthentic with them about what you really want or need.
Being authentic with yourself.
Yeah, it's like building on quicksand. The structure's gonna fall apart. So, what if two people don't connect? Do you leave? I think you have to get to know yourself well enough and love yourself enough to trust that intuition inside yourself, because it's different for every relationship. Some relationships are worth sticking it out.
Chris says communicate in truth, and it's like sometimes communicating in truth is not the prettiest thing, because sometimes you're communicating that I'm really upset with you, or I'm really hurt, but using an approach that comes from how you're feeling. Yeah, timing is key. And also
Yeah,
like
exactly.
using words that are like, this made me feel this way, not like you did this
Taking
to me.
responsibility for your own feelings.
Exactly.
Is,
Taking responsibility.
really powerful, really empowering to you.
And then, do you two believe in hate towards a person? I think that feelings that resonate with like hate, I think it's just a cry for love. So I don't truly believe that. I don't believe in hate. I believe in deep pain that is just crying out to be heard and seen, and just crying out for love.
I think that hate is love, and they're one and the same. But it's different degrees. So Hermeticism talks a lot about this, which is a really interesting ancient teaching, that all things that are seemingly opposite are actually the same at very different degrees. So hate is ice. Maybe love is like water vapor. They're the same, but when you get so separated, love just expresses itself as hate. That deep passion expresses it that way because it's been twisted and removed and it's changed form. But the beautiful thing about that is that you can always transform love or hate into love. And that hate at its core is exactly what you're saying. It's
Totally.
love.
And I also like to say that hate or darkness is just love and light that hasn't been loved yet. So yeah, I think it's packaged in a different way, but ultimately it's all love. Everything. It's just an expression of love.
Which then, of course, knowing that conceptually versus actually taking it from hate to love, that's a whole different thing. And that's where it gets challenging.
Totally.
But it's doable. It's very doable.
Totally, yeah. And Chris says, they're all the same happening at the same time in all spaces. I know. And I think the virus has brought love out in others. Yeah, I think people are like, oh my gosh, I can't see the people that I love. Like I have to let them know that I love them. I think, yeah, it's brought out.
Well, inevitably, like hate, shadow, any darkness is a tool for love, because the absence of the thing that you love so much, by being kept away from the people you love, by maybe even losing some of the people you love, you learn to really appreciate what you have. And that's a hard lesson to swallow sometimes. But at the end of the day, it does come back to love.
Totally. Thank you. Thank you, Loyally Tot.
Loyally Tot has been a real one over here.
Love you.
And everyone, thank you guys all.
Yeah, and then we have some stuff over here that says, hate is a form of judgment which manifests from the lower-based ego mind. Yeah, it's like a tunnel vision type thing where like you can't see that it is love, but and therefore you're expressing the way that it's expressed can be destructive.
It's ignorant,
Yeah.
But also it's just from a lower vibrational frequency. And
yeah, totally.
I don't even think necessarily like putting a good or bad label on it is helpful.
It's someone's process. They're in process and they're learning as well.
Yeah.
I'm not in a relationship anymore, but I learned so much from my last. As an empath, I was attracted so easily to a narcissist. Same. All I wanted to do was help her and show her the light. Wish her the best. That's beautiful. Hold on. It can be really difficult and painful to love someone who is in that place, and I think it's the journey of, in your case, the empath, and in my case, the empath, to find self-love and self-worth to be able to say, yes, I love you and I wish you the best, but I actually don't think that this is what's best for me. And I found that after a year and a half being in a relationship with someone who had a lot of narcissistic tendencies, and I felt like I was, releasing the attachment to outcomes too, totally. Like I had to release the outcome and release the relationship in a sense, and still know like I love you and I want the best for you, but being in this relationship is no longer serving me.
You know, in the upcoming episode of the show, Optimistic, Lee Harris is the guest, and he actually has a whole chunk of the show where he talks about empaths and narcissists and the romantic connection between them. Totally. And one of the most interesting things he said about it was that you have to look at yourself as an empath. Yes, you're caring, but also there's a level to it that is from the ego. You feel that you can give this person enough, fix them, do something enough so that they change, and it's an equal trade. And that's your ego basically saying, like, I know I can do this. I know I can fix this person. I know I can. And at a certain point, you have to back away and just realize, even though I love this person, I can love them without being attached to them.
Exactly.
I do want to answer a couple questions here, though.
Sasha Wilson, hello. Where's the tarot deck from? You're always wanting new cards. I love this tarot deck so much. It's called Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and it is so...
I just bought it online. I think I just looked up like cool tarot decks, honestly.
It's like gold and just so beautiful really and cool. Angelic, and I really recommend it. And then Veronica Mahler, hello. Thank you for being on. Being brave enough to transcend trauma and live authentically to help heal the collective. Totally. I'm so thankful that I went through that pain of my past relationship, which was so beautiful in so many ways, but also extremely painful. And I've learned so much from it, and now I can help others. And that's, I think that's really, Mia, I love you too. I think that's really, that's why we go through painful experiences. It's so that we can take that experience and then bring it to the collective. It's like I went out into the world and I learned something, and now I'm coming back and I'm sharing all of this with people so that they don't have to necessarily go through the same things, but they can take the lesson. And then I think my twin flame might be a narcissist. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Twin flame is just
it's a tough thing.
That's a
makes you so strong once you go through it, and gives you more love and empathy for others completely, and for yourself. Yeah. Like, so much. I learned my boundaries, by going through that relationship, and it's like now those are my boundaries and they're set. And before it was very wishy-washy, but I had to go through it in order to find that strength within myself. So
what if I recognize my faults but don't know where it comes from? Such as maybe I'm experiencing anger from a childhood trauma, yet don't know what it could be triggering.
This is a great question. Yeah. So if you can't recognize your faults, you don't know where it's arising, I would say just sit with it. Like, really just close your eyes and sit with what you're feeling, and know that you don't have to find where it came from. You don't have to find the outcome. And you probably will find it anyways by just sitting with it. And I think really just resonating on it and marinating in it, and just not having to change it and just feeling it exactly how it is, you're gonna find where it's stemming from. We know ourselves a lot better than we sometimes consciously think, but subconsciously, it's arising in you, so therefore it's arising from a certain place and a certain memory or a trauma, and it lives in you, and it also can be expressed out, and you can move through it. But first, you have to face it, and you have to really sit with it.
I think, one of the beautiful things about the human experience is that you can always change in an instant. And really, you're just waiting until you're ready to accept that change. It's the changes are already there. It's always there. You're waiting until the instant that you're ready to accept what's there. And so with something where it's like a memory maybe that's blocked or a source that's unclear, I would just, again, exactly what you're saying, sit with it, feed yourself love, and know that when it's ready to arise, when you've accepted enough in yourself, then it will come through. And it'll come through with divine timing. It's not necessarily something that you need to rush to, because, there might be still more growth that needs to take place. And it may even be something that you never need to pinpoint. Just understanding that you're going through that and feeling those things is enough.
And like holding yourself in that, and just like, you got your own back, and it's a beautiful thing.
Should we do some
let's
stuff?
So, some what?
Pink moon stuff?
Well, we kind of did that. I wanted to move on and ask some questions.
Okay.
Yes, practicing of patience. Thank you so much for helping. Of course, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this.
Yeah,
Appreciate and love
all
you.
you guys. It's so nice to see so many reflections on talking.
Totally. So
it's been an intense day, so it's very soothing.
So please ask questions. Ask us about expressing authentically in relationships. Anything that comes up. We are here to give you advice and to just be here and hold space for you.
And we're also no experts, so just like sharing our experiences.
Totally. Fumbling through it. We're in process and we're constantly learning. Totally. We're open and willing to learn.
Me too. I feel you.
So yeah, I'm just gonna any random card pull. Yeah, we did pull a card. We pulled the Page of Swords, which is
new ways of communicating, new ideas. Which makes sense considering everything happening with the world and coronavirus and how people are talking now.
And how we're expressing virtually more than ever.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of shuffling throughout this. I might pull another card at the end, so stay tuned. But yeah, so we're going to ask each other some questions, and then what do these cards mean? So the tarot, do you want to take this?
Yeah, sure. Tarot cards are a ancient tool that are basically like a bunch of symbols. And the idea is, as you pull a tarot card, hopefully it will be something that matches an experience you're going through, and I believe definitely. So it's kind of like a way of connecting with your higher self and them communicating to you through all of these symbols that are on cards. So it's a really awesome tool.
It's always
and
so
as
on
I've
point.
started to use it, I didn't take it that seriously until this year. And as I've started to use it, I've just been shocked at how accurate it is consistently.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we have some questions. What's the best way to hold space for someone who's going through triggers?
That's a hard one. We've done that for each other and also not done that for each other.
We happen to trigger each other in ways where exactly in the ways where we need to grow.
Which is usually going to be the case in a relationship, is that you have aligned with each other. One, of course, because you love each other and care about each other, but also because your partner is on a really exciting growth path,
So the best way to hold space for someone who's going through triggers is, well, it really depends on how what their reaction is, like if someone prefers space when they're being triggered, then just giving them physical space and like being being silent and like just listening to them, and maybe like the way that they're triggered is that they just start like spewing out like all of their anxiety, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm going to, if you feel within yourself that you can, I'm just gonna sit here and listen. Or if you feel like, okay, it's a little bit too much for me, I'm gonna go in the next room and I'm just gonna let you sit with this, and then just also, I mean, it's really like a case-by-case basis.
Well, understanding each other's triggers, too, can be really helpful. Because there have been moments where I know we've been fighting about something.
And yes, we are in a relationship.
Yeah, we are. And then we will will, like, at first we're just like battling each other and like, you said this, you did that. And then we pause, we breathe, we talk, and we really share why it hurt us or why it hit us the way it did or why it triggered us. Like, oh, this reminds me of an interaction I had with my mom when I was 6. That was this ongoing pattern, and this pattern, I see it showing up here, and it hits me there. And once you understand why it hurts your partner so much or why it triggers them, your empathy just goes through the roof.
Yeah,
it's like,
really...
well, I love you and I can hold space for you through it since I understand it's not something personal about me. It's not an attack.
Totally.
That's a big change.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes bravery to just communicate truthfully and with love. I think really just like the holding of space by just like gauging what the person needs in that moment and then just doing it with love. Whether it's, okay, you need physical space, I love you, I'm right in the next room whenever you need me. Or it's, okay, let's punch a pillow. Like you have to, like, let's get this out physically. Like, let's just punch this pillow. And just kind of gauging, but just doing it with love and with compassion and empathy. But also in your own truth and respecting yourself and your own boundaries. And then we have one over here. If I trust my partner but still have trust issues, maybe it's about trusting myself.
Yeah, totally. I definitely have struggled with that one. And it's about having previous wounds and having stories that you're still holding on to, at least for me. Personally, where I have stories from previous partnerships, from relationships with my parents that seek their way into the current relationship. And then it's really honestly looking at it and saying, is this about the other person or is it about me? And if it's about you, then it just comes back to self-love and feeding yourself what you need and being patient with yourself through that. Because it's not easy to build your own trust back. And also authentically communicating that to your partner and being like, hey, I have some trust issues. I love you.
This is
not about you.
Yeah.
This is gonna come up, and
then asking your partner, please keep me accountable. Like when I'm being triggered in a way that's clearly like an old wound, please just like hold space for me. But also, let's talk about it and let's like call me up into working through that together.
Totally.
When will I meet my soulmate? When you're ready for your soulmate. When you are totally, fully in alignment and ready to meet them, you will. Do you want to talk a little bit about what happened like the day before we met?
Yeah. So I had been out of relationships for about 2 years after being in relationships like nonstop for 4 years and dating. And
also, wait, just pause. I was just here, and in less than 2 minutes, you said what I always deal with. Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you.
Perfect timing.
Continue.
But I was going on dates through like Tinder, and I was talking to people randomly, and it just felt kind of forced. And I got to a point with dating, and especially with hooking up with people and having sex with people, where I was emotionally detached and not invested, where it felt really empty for me. So I made a commitment to my best friend who lives in New York. I was FaceTiming him, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to date anybody. I'm not going to hook up with anybody. I'm not going to try to find someone to complete me or do any of these things. And if the right person comes along, I'll know it. And it will happen super, super naturally, and it won't be forced.
So you kind of gave away that like need for like finding the one.
I was
like, I'm surrendering.
Yeah.
I'm just like, when it happens, it will. But like until then, I'm not gonna force anything.
And just focusing on loving myself really, and watering myself. And then of course the next day I met Georgia here. So it was a really quick turnover.
And sometimes it won't be so quick of a turnover.
Yeah. In fact, I was like, damn, I could have used a couple of weeks at least to like focus.
I was ready to like hang out by myself for a bit, and now you're moving in.
No, but it was so beautiful, and it really just cemented for me that you don't need anything. When you surrender the things that you really want, that's often when they'll come.
Thank you. Totally. Like before I met Brad, I went on a cross-country road trip with my best friend, and I was just like, I'm single. Like, I'm living my life. I'm like totally in love with myself, and I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
I'm taking myself out on dates. Like, I'm
That's such a
going
great
deep
way
with
to live.
myself. And then I was able to heal from my last relationship, and I was able to really just like I let go of all the neediness and all of the just anything. I just surrendered, and I was like, wherever the universe wants to flow me, I'm gonna flow with it. And I mean, it's just life turns out like so much cooler than you could ever imagine. Like, I didn't really imagine. I never could have. Yeah, I never could have imagined what my life became. Yeah. So I just really, when you surrender, it's like that's when it all happens.
One little last note with that too. Yeah. Also forgiving yourself when you do fall back into old patterns at times, because the journey through growth is not a linear, thing. It's a spiral.
We go back around.
So you're gonna come back and hit those same things, and you think that you've grown past something, and then you're like, shit, here it is again.
Totally.
But recognizing it and loving yourself through it, and knowing that inevitably you are gonna work through it.
Totally. So Tesseract said, "How do you attract a loving soul relation? How do you attract a loving soul relationship? I'm currently single." I think basically what we said is just like
self-love.
That self-love and just surrendering and just spending the time on yourself, and just like that self-love, that self-worth, and just knowing that when the right person is going to come into your life, it's going to be the perfect time.
And there's a reason confidence is considered key when it comes to, like, if you look at as a guy, like picking up girls, or as a girl attracting a guy, it's because that's, especially when it's genuine confidence, that's because you love yourself so much that, even if you don't find your soulmate, or you don't, pick up the girl who you're into, or the guy that you're into, you're going to be able to love yourself through it. And that amount of self-love is just
you're
attractive
already in an
always.
Extremely loving relationship with yourself.
Attractive to friends, attractive to business partners, attractive to the universe, attractive to romantic partners.
So can you guys tell me who you guys are? Clairvoyant, medium, spiritualist, tarot readers? This is the first time I'm here.
What's up? Welcome.
I'm
just a
great
man in the world.
We are artists. We're storytellers, actors, writers, directors.
Particularly here, though. So we're working on the show Optimystic, which is a late night style consciousness elevating talk show. We're deep into spirituality, metaphysics, positive psychology, and working on the team here. And then also the space is much more than that. It's a community, as you can see, and it's really just about connecting a bunch of people who want to open their hearts and grow.
We're also young people in process, and we don't know all of our gifts yet, but we're always discovering new ones.
And I'm Bradley.
I'm Georgia. So yeah, you all are my family. Hello.
Aww.
Thank you. You are our family as well.
I love you guys. Seriously.
So good to have you here.
It's so nice to be able to tap into with, like, I've had a really long day and I'm tired. And I came to this live stream, I was like, I kind of want to just crawl in bed and relax. But then coming and just being able to authentically connect with you guys and not needing to be heightened and just be real is so nice. So thank you guys for being here and, being with them.
And keep asking us questions about expressing authentically in relationships. But in the meantime, I want to maybe we could ask each other a couple of questions. Shout out to Eddie and Damiana and Mia. I'm missing their faces. Hey, well, they'll be doing their play shops. On one of our posts, it says exactly what day that they'll be on doing their play shops.
Me and Eddie actually have a video game date tonight. We're playing Call of Duty Zombies. Not the most spiritual game, but
Hello. So, okay, I want to Okay, I'm just going to go deep into a question. Let's get deep with it, people. What can I do to help deepen your trust in me?
Wow, that is deep. I think this is where like love languages come in. And such a big level, and everyone has different things.
Hi from the Caribbean. Hi from California.
Hey. I hope the Caribbean is doing well in these crazy times. But to answer your question, I think it's two things. One is just to be super, super honest with me. So even if there's something that maybe you don't want to tell me, or
we are in an open relationship.
Yeah, so that ups the ante.
Hi from Minnesota. Hi from California.
And it doesn't mean you have to tell me everything, obviously, but if you're having an issue with me, or there's an interaction you had that you're worried I might be upset about, or whatever it might be, just being honest with me and holding space for me, even if my reaction isn't always as like peaceful or loving as it is deep down, as how knowing, like, keeping in mind that I love you, even if in a moment I'm triggered. Totally. And then two, just like, I think for me, words of affirmation are really big. Like, that's definitely my love language.
I feel like physical touch as well.
Yeah.
A head rub.
Yeah, that pretty much will solve like all my problems.
So cute.
How about you? What can I do to strengthen my trust with you?
Well, you're also in an open relationship. Awesome. I think it's definitely like hard level of relationships. Like it's like the hardest level of relationship.
Normal relationship is like basketball with your homies, then open relationship is like NBA. Yeah. So it's intense, but it's amazing.
A lot of challenges.
There's
but
so many rewards.
So many rewards. Yeah. Well, going back to like love languages, I think for me it's definitely acts of service. Like I'm such a doer and such like a taskmaster that you helping me with that, like with anything, you know, it's just like, oh, thank you. But really, like, what will deepen my trust is for you to deepen your trust. Like, the more that you just really deeply, deeply, deeply know that I love you and I would never do anything to hurt you and that I only want the best for you, just like fully knowing that, that's basically it for me.
Yeah. Because we're reflections, right? So the more that I trust and the more that you trust, we're both going to feel that.
Exactly. It's giving what you want to receive.
Yeah.
We have some questions from people. I have a question. So there's this guy who really likes me and I like him back, but how, like, what can I do because of the distance?
Hop on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Play a game. One of the best things, there's this thing online called like 30 questions, 40 questions to fall in love. You don't have to tell them that it's 40 questions to fall in love, but you just call them and tell them you want to play a game and just go through those questions. It's a little bit of a scheme, but it's a fun way to pass the time and get a little closer.
Ultimately, if you guys are meant to be together, distance is not going to keep you apart. Whether, you know, maybe you're not. Maybe you decide, okay, we can't be in this relationship right now, but eventually maybe we will be living by each other and we will, like, just keeping that contact and knowing that, like, if you're meant to be, there is nothing that's going to get in the way of that. You guys, you have all of the power to choose each other, and that's really what it comes down to, is like choosing each other. We choose each other every single day. And yeah. So we have some other questions here too. How does that work? Open relationship, sharing someone. Don't you get jealous?
Totally.
Yeah, lots of jealousy.
And you know, the interesting thing, so what I've learned being in an open relationship, you come in, you're kind of like, oh, we're in an open relationship.
Like, it'll be fun. Oh yeah, it'll be fun.
But you realize open relationship means there's no initial rules. So really, it's deciding the rules with each other, deciding your boundaries.
Yeah, yes. It's not like, oh, open relationship, it's a free-for-all. It's like, no, like, these are my boundaries. This is what I feel comfortable with. And, like, you set it up yourself. So we have, like, little code words that are, like, if we're out in public and, like, we need to drop in, it's like, okay, I'm throwing the signal out there and, like, let's drop in. Because we are each other's primary partner. It's like, we are here, and then, like, whatever else beautifully, like, trickles in, and, like, it's like a beautiful tree almost, but like we are the
we're
trunk,
we're
the
main-
trunk and the roots of
the
it, and
main
then we
feast
can grow
entree.
off. But
I think also, God, what was I gonna say? Just being like really compassionate towards your partner when they're jealous, because it's hard. It's super hard. So,
but what's really cool is that like if I'm really upset and heartbroken, like he gets to hold me, and I don't have to do that alone in my room because like he likes someone else, and like now we break up and it's like
Right.
goodbye. It's like, no, like you like someone else and I'm really sad. Can you just like hug me? Can you just hold me? Because like for some reason it's like bringing up my own like issues with self-love. And so the jealousy, it actually triggers exactly where you need to grow. And so when jealousy comes up in me, it's like, oh, where am I not loving myself? Where am I not giving myself the attention that I need? So that's
Very
actually
true.
it's really like a catalyst for growth.
I also just want to say, I don't think that open relationships are superior or more evolved than normal
And they're
ones.
not for everyone.
It's just, does it work for your specific dynamic?
Totally.
And at this stage in our life, it happens to work for us.
Totally.
It might not in 10 years. It might not in
meeting the
2
person
months.
that you assume is your soulmate at like 21, it's like, geez, we have so much life still. So
Yeah.
we're compassionate and we're like aware of the like we're gonna be meeting other people, but we still want this. You guys are in an open relationship. How do you feel about your partner being attracted to someone else? Totally. I mean, it's like,
It's tricky.
it's just like,
It can-
you're just like, I understand, but also it makes me feel kind of sad. But you hold each other through it. You talk through it, and it's like,
It can be kind of fun sometimes too, to be able to, what I love, the reason that I was attracted to an open relationship wasn't even that I wanted to like hook up with a bunch of people. It was just that I wanted to be able to communicate super honestly. Like I view you as my best friends. So if I have a best friend, I'm going to tell them if I have a crush on someone. So if I'm out at a party and I'm talking to someone and then I come home, I'm going to tell Georgia that I have a crush on someone, and it might hurt her and vice versa. It might hurt me, but that honest communication is what allows us to be as close as we are. And then again, exactly what you're saying, we can hold each other through it and love each other through it and be like, yeah, I have a crush on someone at a party, but I'm in
live
love
with you. I literally, I'm so invested in this as well.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing? So we have some questions over here. We have some highs and some hearts. Hi and hearts.
I'd punch you in the face. It's not always that easy.
How far along did you decide to have an open relationship? Have you guys done it before with anyone else? We decided to open our relationship before day one. We were like, I personally was like a little triggered from my last relationship that was like very possessive and very kind of like closed in. So I was like, I need that. I need the space to breathe because I'm such a like, I love people. I'm like, I wanna be out and talking and floating around in social situations and stuff. And like, even if it's not necessarily romantic, just having the freedom to be able to have conversations is really nice.
Also, never mind. I forgot my train of thought. I'm losing it. I
found out my partner was attracted to someone else. I was really upset at first, and then I realized we don't own each other, and it brought us closer. Totally.
It's that's the other thing, is that you're always going to be attracted to other people. I think that's naturally...
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
But also, hi to your heart.
So you absolutely don't have to have an open relationship to actually discuss that.
Yeah.
You can be in a closed relationship and still open up the lines of communication to be like, hey, I have a little crush on someone, and rather than trying to hide this or suppress it,
it's like
I want to tell you, and it doesn't mean anything. Now, that might open up a lot of challenges, but if you make it through to the other end,
it just strengthens you. And as you're saying it, it brings you closer. And it totally, I know that like, it's like I went out on a date once and like I went hiking with someone and I came back and I was just like, I love you. Like, yeah, they're cool, but they're not you. And like you really like it, you get the opportunity to like miss the person or like I don't know. It's just it kind of like keeps it fresh in a sense, which is cool. But I mean, it's not to say it's easy. It's definitely not easy. Hello. We have one other question. This guy wants to wait till college to start talking, but like we both want to talk, but don't want to get too attached before college because it'll hurt too bad. How do you deal with it? I think just like staying in contact and knowing that like we don't have to define this relationship. We don't have to like be in a committed relationship to be able to like talk to each other. Like clearly you care for one another. Clearly you want to be in contact. So just be in contact without having to label it and just surrender to what it is and know that like what unconditional love is I'm there for you no matter what it looks like, no matter how we define it. Like I want the best for you and I'm always going to be there for you. And we've talked about like if we break up, like we're still going to be friends because like I love your soul. I love your soul, and it's not about me getting something from it. It's like I'm happy you exist. So just thinking about that and knowing that sometimes anxiety can come up because it's like we're going to go to college and like we don't know what's going to happen, and it's like
surrendering control
and just knowing that like you have a phone and you can reach out to the person, and like it'll be the same in college, and yes, you'll be meeting new people and this and that, but like again, like if you're meant to be, you're gonna be, that you will find a way.
It looks like we only have 3 minutes left, guys.
Oh my gosh.
So
any last questions?
Any last questions on relationships, shares, experiences
known what
y'all
to
have
do. Totally. And the thing is, you do know deep down, like really just like settling into the quietness of you know.
That's one
and
of my.
And it's love is the answer.
One of my favorite things that I've really felt into working on the show and seeing it every day is when the question of what should I do here, what is my passion, or this or that, you do always know the answer. And it's just tuning in enough and trusting yourself enough to listen to that. And it's really just about trusting and loving yourself, and then things become clear.
Totally. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It's been so awesome to answer your questions. And if you guys liked this, let us know and we'll do it again. I loved this, so I really appreciate all of you so much. Thanks for joining, and we're offering these play shops 14 times a week, so twice every single day, 7 days a week, at 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Psyched for you guys in your journey, love and light. Thank you. Appreciate you so much.
Love you guys all. Thank you so much, everyone who's been here.
Yeah, and so we're offering these play shops for free right now for a limited time, and eventually we will be transferring them to Patreon. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go to patreon.com/weareoptimistic and check out our show, Optimistic, at optimistic.tv if you haven't checked out the episodes.
And finally, on Thursday night, I have a little conscious philosophy workshop. I'm going to be talking about Hermeticism. I'm going to be talking about a lot of the things that we've talked about in here, but through the lens of Hermeticism, which is an awesome ancient teaching. So if anyone is called, that's, I think, 5:30 or 6 on Thursday.
Yes. And we will definitely do this again. Love you guys so much.
Love y'all. Yay.
Woohoo!
Thank you,
Go
guys.
out there and love. Love in spite of fear and in spite of your ego. And just go and know that you're totally held and that you got you. And that we got you and the universe got you. So, love you guys so much. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, I don't know how to turn this one off. Uh-oh.
120 viewers.
Dope. Oh, I can pause. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Wait, no, stop. You end stream.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You're lovely. appreciate you.